What's up, guys? We got another beautiful day out here in the ocean on the surf. We got clear, sunny skies. It's about, I don't know, 60, 50, 60 degrees. And low tide was early this morning, I think around 6 o'clock. It's about 8 a.m. now. So we're working up towards the high tide. I think it's around noon sometime. And we're going to be throwing one of my new favorite lures, at least for now, is Lucky Craft Flash Minnow. I've been using it in a few videos. Caught some nice perch, even caught a small striper on it earlier. So I know it works for both, which is pretty impressive. And I think this is going to be the ticket to catching my big perch this year. We don't waste any more time, let's get out there. Alright, so we're going to start off working this little trough right here. And for those of you who are new to surf fishing, usually the areas you want to target are the areas with a little bit deeper water, because that's where the fish like to hang out, and that's where the bait, mostly the sand crabs, are usually getting pushed out, and that's where the fish are sitting back waiting for them to get pushed back into the feeding zone. So we're going to start working this little trough right here and casting this Lucky Craft Flash Minnow. Try it here for a little while and see if we can get a bite. Alright guys, no look on the Flash Minnow. Now we're going back to the tried and true sand crab. Hopefully we can get a bite here. Alright guys, wind's definitely picked up out here. Probably got, I don't know, at least 20 mile-an-hour winds. I'm not even sure if this audio is going to come through. It's probably pretty blown out. But I'm going to go hunker down, get something to eat, and see if this wind will calm down in the afternoon, and then maybe head back out here and try again. Out here fishing this beach for the past 4 hours. But you know what? Times like these, we've got to go back to our bread and butter, the gulp sandworm. So I will save you the misery of having to listen to this terrible audio, but obviously, as you can tell, the winds only got worse after lunch, and I debated giving it up, packing it up and heading home, but I decided to give it a try anyway. So I tied on the trusty gulp sandworm, could never go wrong there, and started working it in and out of these holes and seeing if there were any fish around it, even despite these heavy winds. And eventually, we managed to hook up. And as you can see here, it's not a giant fish by any means, but after working the beach for 6+ hours, this was a welcomed fish to get the skunk off for the day. And here you can see we bring it in the wave, and there it is, all about 6 inches on the gulp sandworm. So quickly we got this one unhooked after enjoying its presence, got it back in the water, swimming to fight another day. There it goes there, back into the water. Alright guys, you know it's too windy when you got people out here doing windsurfing right in front of you. I think it's definitely a better day for windsurfing than fishing. But that's why this is called diehard fishing. We're gonna get out here even if the conditions aren't perfect. Yeah, this guy seemed to be having some fun out there, and he was coming in pretty close, definitely within casting distance, which I didn't think was good for the fishing, but at that point, at least someone's having a good day, so I watched him for a little bit and then headed on to another spot, thinking that the fish might be scared out of this area since this guy was flying through. And just a quick tip on the sandworm. I did a video about this previously, a while back, but we have a lot of new subscribers, so for you guys, all this is a gulp sandworm threaded onto the hook, and basically all you're doing is you just cast it out. into these holes, these troughs, and just work it back in slow and steady, slow and retrieve. Every once in a while, maybe giving it a pause or a pop just to give it a little more action. And when the fish hit it, you definitely know you give it a nice thump on the line. And here we go. This is our second fish of the day. A little bit bigger than the first one. Gave up a little bit of fight, and eventually we were able to bring it on the sand. And after fighting this wind, man, I felt like champion after bringing this fish in. So yeah, after working that sandworm for a little while, we managed to get another fish on the line. Our second fish of the day, biggest one of the day, and obviously not a monster, but when conditions are tough, any fish is welcome. And it was a little bit bigger than the first one, so another welcome guest. Quickly unhooked. Take a good look at him. He actually had a little scar on its back. It's hard to see from the GoPro, but he must have been attacked by either a bird or another fish early on in his life. So that was cool to see. Back in the water he goes. Hopefully to become a 3-pounder one day. And the rod and reel I was using on this day was my go-to surf setup. It's a Shimano Convergence with a Shimano Sahara 4000 spinning reel. And another tip, when the winds are this crazy, we had heavy winds, 30 mile per hour, moving from right to left. So what I was doing is, rather than just casting straight out, cast into the wind to the right, and then the wind will slowly push your line over to the left as you're bringing it in. And that'll give you a little more time for the fish to bite it, rather than if you cast it straight out, wind would have pushed it right over to the left in no time and made it really unfishable. Oh, that was one of the windiest days I've ever had out here on the beach. And that was just brutal out there. But, to wrap it up, we caught a couple of small perch. Nothing too exciting. But, still nice to get out here, even though it was just insane wind. Both of those fish today were caught on this Berkeley Gulp camo sandworm. I've used them before in plenty of my previous videos, but if you're new to the channel, I'll leave these linked in the description below. These are definitely a go-to bait when you're fishing the surf. But, that's going to wrap it up for today. I'm going to need a nap after this.